Is that actually correct? But like, I can't imagine someone not getting deodorant all over this. Hold for some inspo photos. Hello from my couch. Is that glare gonna annoy you? It's gonna annoy me. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. I'm the founder and designer of NYGC by Taylor, or Not Your Grandma's Crochet. And wow, life has been spiraling. Not necessarily out of control, but definitely spiraling. You know, very much with this motion. And so I've been trying to like stay on a format where I'm like showing, like doing project-based vlogs instead of just like vlogging whatever I can get done. And I think it's fun and like gratifying sometimes, most of the time if we're being honest, for you guys to see like the finished project. But in this current space of life that I'm currently in, I just can't keep up with it. So let's enter in, have a fun little a few days in my life. Currently today is Wednesday, August 7th, and I have been in a massive crochet rut. Well, it's not like an actual crochet rut, but it is in like a, sometimes my mind is just like, okay, crochet for me is very much so something that either calms my brain, or if I have a lot of things on my brain, it just gives me a lot of time to like think about things in a very like low pressure type vibe, you know. Usually it in a way clears my brain of like different things. It honestly produces different creative ideas for me, like just the act of crocheting and or needle pointing will produce different ideas and stuff for me. So usually it's like my go-to thing. Like it's literally hands down every single day you can count on, for at least an hour, if not 6, I'm going to be crafting, either crocheting or needle pointing. And in this current season of life that I'm in, it's like I still have a lot of things that I want to finalize from when I was working on that summer collection, which is just kind of turning into like a collection of sorts. I'm still not fully done with that, but at the same time, it's like I also kind of feel myself drifting into this like other thought process of like other things that I want to do, and I just kind of feel like I'm at a bit of like a standstill creatively, where it's really hard for me to decide what I should prioritize, especially because I'm not necessarily prioritizing I'm not necessarily prioritizing things to sell at the moment. I'm more so prioritizing just like making sure that I'm happy with the things that I'm making and stuff, which is by no means a bad thing, but it is just kind of like the fact of the matter. And so it's like, do I want to make pieces that I love, that I'm excited to show, that will bring more energy back to my pages just because people can tell I'm excited to like show those things? Or do I want to make things that I feel like are more likely to capture the attention of like customers and stuff like that? I feel like that's like a line of thinking I fall into at least once a year, always around this type of year, because actually August marks like 4 years ish of me having my like NYGC as a brand. And so I mean, I feel like it's good to think and reflect on what sort of things I want to improve upon or build upon and stuff like that. And especially being in this crochet space in like this day and age that we're currently in, it's honestly, it's like a weird place to be in, just because it kind of leads you down this rabbit hole of like, do you want to sell a bunch of stuff? Do you want to sell a bunch of stuff, and really like make a commodity out of your craft? Or do you want to take the more artistic route, which means you're probably not selling as much, but the things that you are selling are usually valued at a higher cost just because the time and energy that's required to produce that thing? I would say that's probably the lane that I've been more so riding in for the past year or 2 years, to be honest. Mostly because after a certain amount of years in this crochet space, you just kind of realize that, like, as much as you want to be able to appease people and you would love people to like be able to buy your stuff and like whatnot, there's other layers to it. There's a lot of other layers to it that I don't necessarily think that other fashion mediums have to be as aware of. At least it's not as in their face as it is for a crocheter, due to the fact that we are literally hand making every single little aspect of whatever. So yeah, I don't know. We are to start this video off with a rant / a tangent, but such is life. Anywho, the current things that are floating in my head as possible things to work on are: 1, this is a bag that I'm working on. It's very much so inspired by the Staud beaded shoulder bag, I think is what it's called. I'll put a picture here. I have been seeing those bags for a little bit. I think it's really cool how like the thickness specifically of the strap, and so I'm working on like a very much so mini version of it, and it's like very much so different. Really the main thing I'm taking inspiration from is like the thick strap, and I just want to see like what with my needle pointing I can do that. So I've already done the front and back panel as well as the bottom, and I'm currently working on the side / shoulder strap sort of situation. I've been really going back and forth about how I want to go about constructing this, because like, to put it together, you know, essentially like I have it like this, you know, like similar to like my boxy NYGC handbag, but like on a thinner scale. And instead of having the side and then attaching the straps in the front, I'll attach the side, and then, you know, it'll be like this sort of situation. Every day I'm reminded about the fact that there's so much math that's required in this whole crochet game, because like I had to figure out the drop depth or whatever, like essentially figuring out how much space between the top of the handle and the top of the bag, because like I don't want the bag to just be like all up in your armpit, you know. I don't want it to be uncomfortable to have on. So yeah, this might still be a little bit too short, but we're just playing around with things. So that's the main thing I'm working on. It does happen to be in a similar shade of lavendery purple as the crochet flare pants, or the beachy crochet pants. Those don't officially have a name because they're not on my website yet, but the purple crochet pants that I finished in this video, I'll put a card there. Additionally, I'm working on a matching beachy sort of cardigan for those pants, and in the perfect world it will have a coordinating bikini, but honestly the cardigan is taking up more yarn than I allocated for it, so yeah, unsure about that. So yeah, I would say the cardigan and this bag are like the main things taking up my brain space. However, today I'm must have been on TikTok or something, and I saw this dress. It was like this very clean black halter mini dress that I literally just can't stop thinking about it. And I have 2 renditions of halter dresses that I've made, that I've crocheted before, but neither of them turned out quite perfect. One because of the silhouette and one because of the weight of yarn that I used. And so I'm currently trying to decide if I want to take a pause from all the things that I've been working on, especially since I've kind of decided that I'm not really prioritizing putting it out anytime soon, that maybe I should give myself a little bit of a creative moment to play around with that dress. But I don't know. This is what I mean. I've just been really indecisive when it comes to pursuing creative projects and stuff. I feel like it's probably because I have a lot on my mind, but because I just feel very up in the air about a lot of things, and so like it makes sense for creativity to be a part of the things that I'm feeling very up in the air about. I don't know. I also have a really bad sore throat right now, so if you can hear that, yes, it's very annoying. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, okay, I'll update you when the strap is more complete. Oh, one other thing. So in the Staud bag, the way that it closes, it has like a whole like fold over top flap sort of vibe, and initially I was gonna do that, but 2 things. One, I'm using ribbon to make this. I went through this phase where I like got really obsessed with ribbon. I like bought a whole bunch because I thought it would be really cool to crochet with it, which I still think it's cool to do. However, if you don't know, like most ribbon comes in like max 30 yards. Usually it's more like 15 yards. So like when I was trying to figure out things to crochet with only 30 yards worth of ribbon, obviously, you know, I could incorporate different colors and stuff like that, but I'm like more of a monochrome girl. So anyways, I ended up taking a pause on my crochet ribbon endeavors, and so when I started needlepointing, I was like, oh, ribbon's actually kind of perfect for needlepointing just because you don't need as much yardage. And so I'm using this ribbon currently. These spools come with 100, so I can, knock on wood, easily complete at least a mini size bag, and then we'll figure out other sizes later on. But yeah, because I'm working with a finite amount of ribbon, especially because I do want this sample to be monochrome, I'm working with a finite amount of ribbon. So I decided I wasn't gonna do like the top flap, even though I'm sure you guys would love for me to come up with a design that doesn't expose your items to everything in the world. But anyways, I kind of think it's for the best because yeah, I'm just very uncertain about like the whole like this being up in your armpit, and if it's open, then at least like any armpit sweat or like deodorant and stuff is not rubbing on like the top of, you get what I mean? I don't know. So anyways, I think I'm gonna do a similar closure as my other bags, just because honestly it's like the easiest in terms of it's the easiest. Can you tell there's like no thoughts in my brain? It's the easiest in terms of opening and closing on the go, in my humble opinion. And now that I'm sorry, the reason why I had like a whole brain freeze moment, is because now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might put the closure on the outside, so it'll be like shoot. What I really would love to happen is to have like the NYGC be in a more cool sort of situation, but I don't know. I might not even put NYGC on this first one. Stay tuned. Apologies for the pigtail jump scare. My hair is kind of wet with product. I also cut myself really bad. Anyways, it is quite a bit of time later. It's currently August 24th. Yeah, August 24th. It's 11 p.m. I have been working on this bag on and off. I don't remember if the last time I filmed I had already completed the side pieces, but now I've completed the top strap, and this is what we're looking at. I put it together because I want to hold on. Freaking fan. Anyways, this is what she's looking like. I just kind of put it together because I want to see what it's giving, and two things. My current issue is that I feel like it's too short. Like when I put it on my arm, I feel like it's right on my armpit, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know that I want other people's to be rubbing on their armpit. Like, it's pretty comfortable. Now that I put it together, it's pretty comfortable here, but like I just would hate for someone to ruin the bag from getting their deodorant all on it, because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am using ribbon, so it's definitely a lot less likely to peel, hence why I'm considering a shoulder bag design. I'm a little bit too far gone because the way that I did this to consider just like adding on to this, because this is like one big piece and then blah, blah, blah. I'm a little bit too far gone to add length to this. I mean, I could, but I just don't think that I can do it in the most ideal way. I'm also a little bit too far gone to make it any shorter. So really what I'm trying to decide is if I want to complete the bag as is, just to have like a nice sample of what could be, because I feel like looking at this on camera, like, this is so cute. She's adorable. I feel like it's worth finishing just so that I can get an idea for like whatever. If I end up messing it up a little bit from, you know, like getting my deodorant on it or whatever, that's me messing it up, then at least I can at least better know for potential customers. But I think I talked myself into it. Before I got on film, I was considering adding some length, but I don't think that that's the best idea at the current moment. The other thing is, because of how short the bag already is, it wouldn't, if this was any like taller, I feel like it just wouldn't look proportional. Like, even this is a little tall, but like it's just tall enough. And I mean, like, I do feel like if I am going to have this style, but it's not going to necessarily go on your shoulder, then it's like, I mean, they definitely give. This one's a little bit weird because I put the button on the outside. I do regret doing that. I might one day take it out. But anyways, they do give different vibes. But I was really looking forward to having a fun shoulder bag. Like, I was looking forward to this moment. I will say, in the short walk that I did, literally not even walk, steps that I took to grab what I just went to grab. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it is very much so on my armpit. So anyways, I did recently make this bag, which I don't hate. I'm actually working on another one that probably would have been a better one to grab, but anyway, CW. I've been working on this bag, which is like fully mesh. She's definitely kind of fun. It's kind of stretched out a little bit now. See, this gives really casual, like this length. So maybe it is supposed to be like that, just eats more. I might need to look up some inspo photos. Is that actually correct? But like, I can't imagine someone not getting deodorant all over this. Hold for some inspo photos. Okay, so it's still, like, it is comfortable, but like I said, I'm just concerned about sweat and stuff like that. Anyways, this bag is like collect myself. I've always wanted to do a shoulder bag version of my NYGC handbags just because I feel like, I don't know, I like a shoulder bag personally, especially as I get older and I'm wanting to be a bit more hands-free, you know. I also feel like because of the fact that my bags are more open, this is a bit more safer if you're out and stuff like that. And it allows me to be a little bit more fun and funky with the materials that I use, just because I don't really need too much hardware and I don't really need too much material in general, so I can use something more like a ribbon or whatever, which I would probably say is a bit more resilient, let's put it that way, than the yarn. The yarn is still chilling, but I mean, if we had to be honest, this is definitely more resilient. Anyways, when I decided specifically to embark on this journey of making a bag, it was low-key modeled after this bag, the YSL Libre. Wait, yeah. Now, some key differences. Something I really like about the YSL Libre is that, oh, this one doesn't actually have it. Oh, it's called the 5 to 7 mini bag. Anyways, the 5 à 7 mini bag. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Thoughts. The level of distracted that I just got. The shoulder bag, modeled after the shoulder bag. Anyways, I'm looking at it now, and number one, the way the model's holding it is more like this. Now, some key differences. This bag does get away with being fit, like I had to do a pretty chunky thing, mostly because I felt like it would look cute going like this. Like, I really like, you know what I can look into? I'm literally getting so distracted. I apologize. Is it not called the Libre? Oh, that's a perfume. JK. These are really popular right now. And frankly, for good reason. But okay, let's look up some photos. People do wear them on the shoulder. It comes in a lot of different sizes, so let me look up the mini. Yeah, okay, for the mini, it is in the girl's armpits. Basically. It's definitely giving a little armpit moment. I think I am gonna finish this bag and see how I'm feeling about it. If I do feel like it's too in the armpit, then we can always do a little redesign movement. But I feel like I'm on to something. Cause really, it needs like 2 inches, give or take. Like, it's not straight up in my armpit. There's still like a little bit of room, but if this had 2 more inches on each side, so 4 more inches, I think it would be chilling. But yeah, based on how people are holding it, they are holding it more like this or like this, like a little this moment. And like I said, it is a little bit easier to hold the 5 to 7 because it does kind of like come in on the strap, whereas this is a little bit chunkier. But the way crochet or the way needlepoint works, you can do that, but I just wouldn't say that's like my preference. Not me getting chocolate on this. I had chocolate before I started filming. And look at how easy it was to take off. Resilient. Anywho. Let's get her done. The last things I have to do are put my monogram. I was trying to figure out if I was gonna do like the NYGC part, but I feel like it's kind of a staple and otherwise it's kind of plain without it. So I am going to add that, and I also am going to put a closure on it just to like pinch it in. No. I need the closure because if I pinch it in like this, then when you put your phone, it does weird things. So I'll see you probably tomorrow, honestly. Maybe when this is done. I don't know. Hi. It's honestly been quite some time later, as you can tell by the location change. I honestly kind of like, I don't know, I started to lose a little bit of motivation for this bag just because I was so unsure about the size and the drop height and I don't know, just so many aspects of it that I kept kind of like fighting myself like in between. Should I keep going with the bag just so I can have a prototype and maybe I end up liking it as is, or should I unravel it and make the drop height better? Like, I don't know. But I brought it with me over this weekend and ended up working on it in the car today, and I think it's worth completing. I'm literally so close. I got a lot done in the car, so I literally just have to put it all together now, and I'll show you where I'm at. So I went through, I don't remember if I discussed this on here, but I had a whole situation with this lettering. Literally, I did it with this ribbon, the ribbon that I did the base of it with, but it like wasn't popping out. It was also like too low. I think I did show that. So I did end up starting to redo it, but then it just wasn't like popping out as much. So I grabbed this ribbon, which is a much thicker ribbon, but they're essentially the same color, and I really like this. It's like literally like maybe a hue off, but I like that you can see it like no matter, like unlike my traditional bags where sometimes you have to like turn it to see, I like that you can just like see it for what it is. So anyways, I did this in the car. I also lined my pieces and I sewed on this piece already. I lost this piece for a little bit in the car, and so I just wasn't sure what to do with myself, so I started working on a pocket, and that kind of led me down the rabbit hole of deciding that with this whole ribbon journey of the NYGC handbags, I don't know if I'm gonna put pockets in them, just because I feel like while my typical bags, which you can kind of see in that corner, are a bit more function based, and there's things that I want to do to like tweak the function of those, I feel like these ribbon designs really are more so eventually, based on what you'll see in later things I've been working on, more so art pieces in a way, in the sense that like they are functional bags. You can take them out, but they're not necessarily intended or meant to be an everyday bag. However, because of the ribbon, they will be very sturdy and whatnot. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. But anyways, so I think I'm gonna unravel what I'm doing with this pocket, just because the ribbon can easily be crocheted with and it creates a cool texture, but it uses so much of the ribbon, and I just don't think that that's quite what I'm hoping for these particular bags. So I'm doing this, and I'm just going to go through and line my front and back with single crochets, sew on this, and then crochet everything together. It's currently 6:42. I was deciding whether or not I was gonna go live or not. I'm still haven't really been in the mood to go live, to be honest. I think I am still gonna take a bit more time from that. So me and my thoughts in my YouTube are going to enjoy a nice chill afternoon. Or it's low-key evening. Anyways, let's see how long this takes to finish up. Okay, it's 7:12 and I'm currently trying to decide my game plan. I finished attaching everything and lining the tops of my front pieces and just like cleaning all the pieces up so they're ready to be attached. And if you know, you know, I like to have as few ends to weave in as possible. So because this includes like the sides also, it'll look something like so. I think that I can I'm trying to see if I start maybe at the bottom. And then I go at the top. No, that won't work. I'm trying to decide, it might make sense more so for me to work on connecting a bottom part. This is not going to make sense to you, but it will make sense to me and I'll enjoy talking through. But if I connect a bottom, cut, maybe, connect a bottom, how many times will I say that by the end of this? Who knows? Connect a bottom. For the bottom that isn't connected, I'll use that to start connecting the strap. Right? Because I could like go vroom, vroom, around, vroom, 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 vroom. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's give it a try. Okay. It's currently 8:33, so it's been almost 2 hours. Honestly, it took me a while to like figure out the orientation, how I was gonna do everything, and then my dad called me. Anyways, here is the final bag in her glory. I should probably tuck this tail in. But talking about the process, it was honestly fairly easy to put together. I just wanted to make sure that like the nice single crochets were on the right side for the handle at the very least. As I like keep playing around with this bag, I'll definitely work to perfect how to like go about putting it together. But all in all, it was pretty seamless to do. I feel like it is a pretty good size on my arm. It definitely needs to be like about 2 inches, an inch at the very least, if not 2 inches longer on the drop. I mean, I can fit it on my shoulder, but it's like very much so in my armpit. And I also don't know if I would do this width or if I would do a slightly like ever so slightly wider width. This might be, I think this one's just 6 inches. Yeah, this is just 6 inches. My next trial will probably be 6.5 inches, because I think similar to my bow shoulder bag, this one on my website, I will do this sort of style in both a small and a medium, just because like this can, like, you know, very cutely fit a small wallet, your lip gloss, and a phone, versus something a little bit bigger that could also fit that. But you know, it will probably also have the same thinness though, because I feel like on the arm, probably shouldn't have this sticking out like that, but I feel like on the arm this thickness is like enough. Now another thing, I don't know how I feel about the monochrome. I do like the monochrome, but I don't know how the world will feel about the monochrome, as well as ribbon wise. I still have some ribbon left, but I think once I add the 2 inches on this, as well as 1/2 inch on all the sides, which might also include height, but anyways, I think that might, like, it probably will take up exactly 1 spool of this. So for my next iteration, I might do a fun and funky pattern and it'll probably be a medium-sized version, to be decided. But yes, we finally have a new bag design. It's literally been, well, I'm literally saying this as if I didn't just launch a crochet bag, but like for some reason needlepoint and crochet, very different parts of my brain, and I've been itching for a new needlepoint bag, so here she is. Anywho, a cute little thumbnail moment. Anywho, very much so looking forward to trying this out. Oh, the big reason why I chose the ribbon in the first place is because of this rubbing against your body, it being a shoulder bag and whatnot. I do think that the ribbon is gonna hold up well. I will eventually, in the next few months or month, be working on a cotton version of the NYGC handbag, or like a version with a more natural fiber, or a fiber that doesn't pill as much, just because that's my biggest issue with my current NYGC handbags, and something I really want to figure out going into 2025. Because like the color palette is beautiful, but I don't love that they do pill. Anyways, so this will definitely save this, but because of how limited the amount of ribbon usually comes, I don't think that a monochrome version of the NYGC handbags will be in the near future with the ribbon, but we may have some fun and funky designs should this continue to work out as I continue to test on this particular silhouette. But in general, I'm just feeling very excited to be back in a very creative headspace, a headspace that's like willing to like try new things. I have not a lot of new ideas that I want to test by the end of the year, but definitely a solid amount, enough to get me through the end of the year. And I'm just really looking forward to trying all these new things out and sharing them with you. If you're not already, make sure to follow me on Instagram as well as TikTok if you're interested in the things that I sell, as well as my made-to-measure clothing. Make sure that you go to my website, nygcbytaylor.com. I know that I have been a little bit absent this past, I think like 2 weeks, because I was quite sick. You'll see in an upcoming video at some point that I was quite sick, no voice, hence why my voice is a little bit weird right now, but we will be attempting to get back to regularly scheduled programs with some very interesting content coming soon. Anyways, Goodbye, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.